So,
Want
what?
Want to know something funny?
Yes.
My little tablet has the lock is a facial recognition thing, and it tends to recognize me only when I'm doing this. Like that's when it stops having trouble and goes, "Hi, Robin McFadden. How are you today?" You know, like.
That's great.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, so I saw a Lord of the Rings meme on somewhere on the internet, and it was Sam carrying Frodo, and I was like, "Aw, Sam, I want to read some Lord of the Rings. Maybe I'll just read a little bit outside of the podcast." And then I went, "Wait, it's Saturday."
It's Saturday.
So,
Have you watched Glass Onion yet?
yes,
Okay, that was fucking amazing.
it's so
Uh,
good.
Someone made a meme of Benoit Blanc with the. Have you seen this meme?
I don't think so.
It's just him looking at the camera, and the caption is this long paragraph like, and you have to read it in a southern accent. It's like, but have you considered, Mithrandir, that it is not so much a set of instructions as perhaps a riddle? Maybe you would enlighten us as to the Elvish word for friend.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I I really liked the first Knives Out, but I loved this one.
they they both speak to my soul. There were a lot of parallels, but all of the things that were the same were the things that I thought were perfect. Like
Hmm.
the archetypes that you could absolutely use 50 times and never get tired of.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and like my favorite, not my favorite bit of the movie necessarily, but my favorite bit of costuming in any movie that I've seen in a long time is the scene when they're on the dock and they all show up in masks, and the way that they wear their masks, you immediately know
it
who
tells you
everybody is.
everything about each of them. Oh my god.
It's
The the only plot twist that I called was the pineapple. When he said, "Oh, I don't play with pineapple," I was like, "That's gonna be relevant." The rest of it just completely slapped me upside the head and made me go,
I don't think I called a single bit of it. I was so into watching it that I wasn't trying to predict what was going on, which just
"Oh,"
is
and the
rare.
pineapple gave me a fake out too because I was like, "Oh, someone poisoned him with pineapple," and then the dude panicked and it was the wrong glass, and I was like, "Oh, no, I guess it. What did?"
Okay, you know the other thing that was funny about that was the first like when the first time through the footage when you see like I saw him hand him his glass and I was like, "Uh-oh, it's his glass. He's going to accidentally die." But then the second time it plays through and he's like, "He must have picked up my glass by mistake." I got gaslit too. Like I thought that's weird. I thought he handed it to him.
Oh, we were talking about it with Blue afterwards, and Blue was like, that guy who played the billionaire, and we were like, Edward Norton, and he was like, he did a really good job, and we're like, yeah, he always does, especially with that kind of role. Like, hand him a script about an absolute turd face who thinks he's an anti-hero, and Edward Norton will do such things.
Yes. Well, and did you know the portrait of him, the like absurdly ripped portrait of him, that's fan art from Fight Club?
Fight Club! I did not know it, but I'm not surprised. I am delighted. That's so fucking awesome.
It's so good. Oh, and there's a
But
bit.
also
Okay,
just
I
a little bit ridiculous. Like, yeah.
yes. I was reading about Easter eggs, and one of the other ones that I didn't catch because I don't know Rothko that well, but he had a Rothko on the wall upside down.
Oh I loved the very brief Hugh Grant cameo, and I was like,
Yes.
"Is he his husband?" And Blue's like, "Yeah." Like, that's fucking adorable.
It's so fucking adorable. Someone was saying that the third movie should be them going on vacation and Benoit promising to not solve any mysteries while they're on vacation, and then he has to sneakily do it.
Or he keeps his promise, and his husband recognizes how miserable that's making him, so he like arranges for there to be something that needs.
Oh man, it's so good. It's also, I feel like it's the first movie I've seen that acknowledges the pandemic.
I loved it, and I loved how they handled it.
Yeah, well, and it's like it's so the mood of everyone just being kind of insane and not knowing what's going on, and you haven't been out of the bath in 2 months. I'm like, oh God, I remember that.
And it's all right. They're all in my pod. Had me laughing my ass off because I'm
Oh
like,
my,
oh yeah.
oh my God, yeah. Oh, the fucking fishnet mask. Oh, so good.
And the very gentle, funny social commentary, like the these people aren't successful because of merit. They're successful because of circumstance, you know? Like,
Hmm.
and luck and being an asshole. And
Except for Andy, who was successful because of merit and got screwed over by
exactly.
all of the shitheads that were not successful because of merit.
Oh, and I guess we should have mentioned in case we ever have an audience that this is spoilers. Spoiler
Spoilers.
heavy. Spoilers,
Whoops.
everybody. Oh well, sorry. We'll cut this when we do a
An actual edited version,
an
yes.
actual edit. But the fact that the Edward Norton dude utilized their selfish pragmatism because they were like that. They're not bad. They're selfishly pragmatic. They will tell any lie or do anything if they think it'll put them on the winning side.
Hmm.
And he exploited that. And then at the end, it turned against him, and he was so hurt and surprised. And I'm like, but that's exactly, they're doing exactly what they did before. They
You know,
lied
now
for
that
you, they'll lie against you. Like, you're on the losing side now. This is how you can tell. They're all knobby knobs.
I was about to say, now that we're talking about it, they feel like that like aspect of the characterization is very Pratchett. Like they're not good people, they're not bad. I mean, they're kind of bad people, but they're mostly just people.
Yeah, they're just human. They've got an eye on the bottom line, or the yeah. They will change uniforms if the battle turns.
Hmm.
They will rob a dead man of a uniform.
Yep.
Oh
Oh man. Also, Janelle Monet is so good.
God, she carried the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I spotted. So there's two movies now that both have repeated there's a bright young woman who's just lost someone dear to her and needs it fixed,
Hmm.
needs justice and truth.
What's the other one?
I mean, Knives Out, like
Oh yeah.
the main character was a very similar to Janelle's character in a lot of particulars, in a lot of, well, just
Hmm.
being a good person, like the only good person is.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm like, do it again.
Exactly. That's kind of the like series thing, and I'm so here for it. Like it's Benoit Blanc helping out the only good person he can find in
Yep.
some viper's nest that someone has just died in
Yeah. Or is about to die in.
or is about to die in or might die
Within
in.
within the story, the billionaire was a very good actor because the moment he realizes that the lights are about to turn out,
Hmm.
but But that was why Andy partnered with him in the first place. That wasn't like out of character. He is an actor. In fact, that's all he is.
Yeah.
He's a performer. That's all he's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. It's really funny because Ryan Johnson has said he's more supposed to be like Zuckerberg rather than Elon Musk. But given what's happening with Elon Musk right now, everyone's like,
tell
both,
me you're paying
maybe.
attention to the Andrew Tate, Greta Thunberg.
Oh my God. This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes. I don't even know who the fuck Andrew Tate is. I don't care.
Never have. Now all I know about him is he has a tiny prick and he's been collected by the authorities for human trafficking. So
And he managed to, in the last 2 days of the year, surpass Elon Musk as the person who was murdered the most thoroughly on Twitter.
edged him out by this much. Oh, by the length of a prick.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Yeah. I don't even know, like I was trying to research what started him off, and I don't think it was anything.
No, I think he's just the kind of asshole that likes to try and pick on Greta. Is it Thunberg or Thunberg?
Thunberg is what I've heard pronounced on like
Thunberg.
the news and stuff.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, he likes to try and pick on Greta Thunberg, and he did not realize that he was bringing a tiny prick to a gunfight.
That's my girl up there. Oh. Anyway, yeah, we're reading. I've got 70 things to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where we were.
I'm not going to work on Radon for a while because the legs depress me.
Those legs are such a fucking problem. I'm like,
yeah, I should have let it cure longer, maybe.
Maybe?
Have you made any more with your friend?
No, I haven't yet.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. If I can make a successful one, I'll let you know. But I also wonder if it's just that like once they broke and there was that weak point, they just won't stay on anymore.
Yeah, there wasn't going to be any grace for me. What are you? Oh, did you see my walk to Mordor?
No, what? No?
Okay, so it's a bit of a thing, but
walking to Mordor often is. I hear one does not simply do it. Anyway, what?
Indeed. As an aside, we just finished Fellowship of the Ring upstairs, and I am reminded once again that Sean Bean is the only reason to watch it. I mean, if you want the story, you read it, but if you want Boromir to be someone that you genuinely cry when he dies, which I did again.
Always. Every time.
Oh my God. My king. Niagara Falls.
Oh.
Oh shit. No? We cool. Social media has been giving me advertisements for walking to Mordor, like track your steps and pay us money, and when you make it to each landmark, we'll send you a little like decorative item to hang on your wall. And
I gotta be honest, that's a really good motivation to exercise.
Exactly, but the things, they kind of look like fancy belt buckles. They're very cool, but the whole program is $300.
Jesus.
Which probably pays for the plaques, the whatever they are. And that's cool, and they deserve it, and I'm not knocking it, but I wanted to do it, but I don't want to pay $300.
Mm-hmm.
On a completely different topic, I've been wanting since October to do a sort of Inktober style fan art for a different author. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't swap out my October because there's people in the Pratchett reading group who look forward to my art all year, and they've told me that, and so I have to keep doing Disctober. But I was like, I'll pick another month, I'll do another author, it'll be really fun. I'll do some ElfQuest fan art, I haven't done that since high school. I'll do some Tolkien. And then I thought of Tolkien, and I thought of the Walk to Mordor, and I went, what if I made a Facebook group called the Unofficial Walk to Mordor, and I drew pictures that correlate to like what I think are the most important landmarks, and I figured out the distances, and I promised to send my friends postcards if they make it those distances, and then we could have the total community thing, but nobody has to pay anything except for this cost of a stamp. And wouldn't that be fun? And so I
That
did.
would excellent.
That would
That would be fun.
would be fun. I'll be doing my fan art in January. That's the point. And I picked 22 locations, like a bunch clustered up front because that would be very helpful. Woodhall, where they feast with the elves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Farmer Maggot and Crick Hollow, and Tom Bombadil's house, and the
Mm-hmm.
Prancing Pony, and and then they get more spaced out.
And then it's like the where where Frodo gets stabbed. Help me out here, my brain.
Oh, Weathertop, yeah, I
Weathertop.
forgot about
Thank you.
Weathertop. Yeah, absolutely. After Bree Weathertop, after Weathertop Rivendell, and then it's like at this point we'll throw you a party or something because you've made it to Rivendell, and then the next big stop is Lothlorien. Like, take a break, take a week off, have fun, and oh, and I found a brilliant website that somebody put together back in the noughties called AONchallenge.net, where, because there's a fair amount of discourse over how long the distances actually are.
Mm-hmm.
The Aowen challenge seems to have broken it down based on information in the text and
Cool.
can back it up and has the miles between landmarks. Actually, it just has cumulative miles, so I had to do some subtraction, but like, if you make it to the top of Mount Doom and throw in the ring, you will have walked or traveled something like 900 miles.
So this will be a slow challenge.
A very slow challenge, giving me plenty of time to do the art. And I was thinking, like, my printer is pretty cheap, and stamps are pretty cheap. So if any of my friends actually make it to Mount Doom, it will cost me $44. So I would have to have at least 6 friends walk 900 miles apiece before it would cost me as much as the plaques from the official company. And I will send you an invite at some point, because if you want to, you can. And yeah.
The stumbling block, of course, being Facebook, which I don't use.
Oh, that'll be that's the problem.
Yeah.
There's your problem. You could just text me.
I also have to figure out how to track my steps, and also I have to exercise. There's a few stumbling blocks now that we say that.
So what I'm hearing is you don't want to do it. That's
No,
fine.
I want to do it. No, I do. That it's as a motivation to exercise. I need to leave my house more.
Yeah, you and me
Or
both.
at all. Yes.
I mean, when your house is nice and comfy and you've got animals to snuggle, like,
Uh-huh. And I work from home and my car still doesn't work. And
that's why
there's
you'll
a
be
lot going on.
walking.
Yeah. Indeed, but there's nowhere, also in my neighborhood there is nowhere walkable. Like,
Damn, it's like Colorado Springs.
yes, it's a lot like that, in fact. Like, I couldn't walk to the grocery store. I couldn't walk to the nearest Starbucks. Like, there's nothing.
So what you need is possibly like a treadmill and just something to watch on a little screen while you treadmill.
Well, my point is more that I'm not motivated to leave the house right now because there's nowhere to walk to. But if I was walking to Mordor, perhaps I would be.
Yep. And if you did a walk through your neighborhood and then you just measured the mileage and let me know, hey, it's been 11 miles, I'd be like, cool. I also have drawn a white line on a map. And I'm going to print it out just for me. It's available to other people in the group as a printable thing, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to print it out really big and I'm going to like Sharpie on the white line when I've gotten like, well, some of the legs are like 300 miles and I'm like, I'm going to need to like keep track of it in increments.
You'll need some sort of measurable progress. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Is the line on a map of Middle Earth?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I could send you that.
I would love that.
Okay. And now it's 7:37. Oh my god. So much to talk about.
We're so talkative. Okay, and we were where Shagrat was chasing Snaga around the roof, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Well, he might have shoved the thing in Sam's face.
Yes. Shagrat darted past and down the stairs.
Yes.
Yes. Sam ran after him, cursing, but he did not go far. I would love to know what curses he was using. Motherfucker!
Dunder Mifflin!
Get back here, you little bitch! Soon, the thought of Frodo returned to him, and he remembered that the other orc had gone back into the turret. Here was another dreadful choice, and he had no time to ponder it. If Shagrat got away, he would soon get help and come back. But if Sam pursued him, the other orc might do some horrible deed up there.
I'll be right back. You go ahead.
And anyway, Sam might miss Shagrat or be killed by him. He turned quickly and ran back up the stairs. Wrong again, I expect, he sighed. But it's my job to go right up to the top first, whatever happens afterwards. Put on my flannel, 'cause it's chilly. Away below, Shagrat went leaping down the stairs and out over the court and through the gate, bearing his precious burden. If Sam could have seen him and known the grief that his escape would bring, he might have quailed. But now his mind was set on the last stage of his search. He came cautiously to the turret door and stepped inside. It opened into darkness, but soon his staring eyes were aware of a dim light at his right hand. It came from an opening that led to another stairway, dark and narrow. It appeared to go winding up the turret along the inside of its round outer wall. A torch was glimmering from somewhere up above. Honestly, I think it's just as well that Sam didn't know what was going to happen with the mithril coat, because he would have tried to prevent it and then,
died.
Yeah. Softly, Sam began to climb. He came to the guttering torch fixed above a door on his left that faced a window slit looking westward. One of the red eyes that he and Frodo had seen from down below by the tunnel's mouth. Quickly, Sam passed the door and hurried on to the second story, dreading at any moment to be attacked and to feel throttling fingers seize his throat from behind.
Ugh.
He came next to a window looking east and another torch above the door to a passage through the middle of the turret. The door was open, the passage dark save for the glimmer of the torch and the red glare from outside filtering through the window slit. But here the stairs stopped and climbed no further. Sam crept into the passage. On either side there was a low door, both were closed and locked. There was no sound at all. A dead end, muttered Sam, and after all my climb, this can't be the top of the tower. But what can I do now? He ran back to the lower story and tried the door. It would not move. He ran up again, and sweat began to trickle down his face. He felt that even minutes were precious, but one by one they escaped, and he could do nothing. He cared no longer for Shagrat or Snaga or any other orc that was ever spawned. He longed only for his master, for one sight of his face or one touch of his hand.
Aw.
At last, weary and feeling finally defeated, he sat on a step below the level of the passage floor and bowed his head into his hands. It's like that nightmare where you're just trying to do something and you just can't move fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah, or plenty of experiences where you've missed a bus or a class or something where you just yeah.
Yep. You're trying to
Very
accomplish
relatable.
something and just you keep hitting these dead ends. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Only more
quiet.
so.
Yeah. It was quiet, horribly quiet. The torch that was already burning low when he arrived sputtered and went out, and he felt the darkness cover him like a tide. And then softly, to his own surprise, there at the vain end of his long journey in his grief, moved by what thought in his heart he could not tell, Sam began to sing. His voice, like you do.
Like you do. Actually, yeah, probably would.
Sincerely, like you do.
Probably like you would, yep.
The immediate song that comes to my mind that I would probably sing in that circumstance is Man in the Long Black Coat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might do Come Together.
His voice sounded thin and quavering in the cold dark tower, the voice of a forlorn and weary hobbit that no listening orc could possibly mistake for the clear song of an elven lord. He murmured old childish tunes out of the Shire, snatches of Mr. Bilbo's rhymes that came into his mind, like fleeting glimpses of the country of his home. And then suddenly new strength rose in him, and his voice rang out, while words of his own came unbidden to fit the simple tune. I'll read the whole thing because it's pretty short.
Cool.
I don't know what tune it's supposed to be, so I'm not going to sing it.
Okay.
In western lands beneath the sun, the flowers may rise in spring, the trees may bud, the waters run, the merry finches sing. Or there may be 'tis cloudless night, and swaying beeches bear the elven stars as jewels white amid their branching hair. Though here at journey's end I lie, in darkness buried deep, beyond all towers strong and high, beyond all mountains steep, above all shadows rides the sun, and stars forever dwell. I will not say the day is done, nor bid the stars farewell. Beyond all towers strong and high, he began again, and then he stopped short. He thought that he had heard a faint voice answering him, but now he could hear nothing. Yes, he could hear something, but not a voice. Footsteps were approaching. Now a door was being opened quietly in the passage above. The hinges creaked. Sam crouched down listening. The door closed with a dull thud, and then a snarling orc voice rang out. Hola! You up there, you dunghill rat! Stop your squeaking or I'll come and deal with you, do you hear?
I think it's hola. I don't think the orcs speak Spanish.
I didn't even notice I said that. I've been working on my Duolingo. Yes, it's probably hola.
I mean, yes, he was a product of his time, but was he as racist as all that?
No, surely not.
Surely not.
I'm just laughing at myself because I legitimately didn't even, like, my brain just went, I know that word. There was no answer. All right, growled Snaga. I'll come and have a look at you all the same and see what you're up to. The hinges creaked again, and Sam, now peering over the corner of the passage threshold, saw a flicker of light in an open doorway and the dim shape of an orc coming out. He seemed to be carrying a ladder. Suddenly the answer dawned on Sam. The topmost chamber was reached by a trapdoor in the roof of the passage. Snaga thrust the ladder upwards, steadied it, and then clambered out of sight. Sam heard a bolt drawn back. Then he heard the hideous voice speaking again. You lie quiet or you'll pay for it. You've not got long to live in peace, I guess. If you don't want the fun to begin right now, keep your trap shut, see? There's a reminder for you. There was a sound like the crack of a whip. At that, rage blazed in Sam's heart to a sudden fury. He sprang up, ran, and went up the ladder like a cat. I hesitate. Well, I don't really hesitate. I obviously have already done it. I was going to say I hesitate to break the tension here. Cats are not very good at ladders.
No, they're not. But so, like a cat going up a tree, maybe?
Yes. I know it's supposed to mean that he went up it like very gracefully and well, but I'm just like, have you seen a cat trying to climb a ladder? Not a strong suit. His head came out in the middle of the floor of a large round chamber. A red lamp hung from its roof. The westward window slit was high and dark. Something was lying on the floor by the wall under the window, and over it a black orc shape was straddled. It raised a whip a second time, but the blow never fell. With a cry, Sam leapt across the floor, sting in hand. The orc wheeled round, but before it could make a move, Sam slashed its whip hand from its arm. Howling with pain and fear, but desperate, the orc charged head down at him. Sam's next blow went wide, and thrown off his balance, he fell backward, clutching at the orc as it stumbled over him. Before he could scramble up, he heard a cry and a thud. The orc in its wild haste had tripped on the ladder head and fallen through the open trapdoor. Sam gave no more thought to it. He ran to the figure huddled on the floor. It was Frodo.
Yay!
Yay! He was naked, lying as if in a swoon on a heap of filthy rags. His arm was flung up, shielding his head, and across his side there ran an ugly whip wheel. Frodo! Mr. Frodo, my dear, cried Sam, tears almost blinding him. It's Sam! I've come! He half lifted his master and hugged him to his breast. Frodo opened his eyes. Am I still dreaming? He muttered. But the other dreams were horrible. You're not dreaming at all, master, said Sam. It's real. It's me. I've come. I can hardly believe it, said Frodo, clutching him. There was an orc with a whip, and then it turns into Sam. Then I wasn't dreaming after all when I heard that singing down below and I tried to answer. Was it you? So there's a meme somewhere about it's the like because he hears Sam singing and he tries to answer. It's like, imagine that you're in a horrible place and you're trying to find a friend and you just go, Sweet Caroline, and they go, ba, ba, ba.
Or oh shoot, what's the other thing? Never mind, it'll come to me.
Well, when it does, let me know, because I feel like there was another example too, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. It would involve thumping. It's a song about how awful someone is. And it interrupts itself for thumping. Tainted Love.
I've got to run away. Or you sit down and you go, and someone far away goes.
Yes, I've got this figured out.
Was it you? It was indeed, Mr. Frodo. I'd given up hope almost. I couldn't find you. Well, you have now, Sam, dear Sam, said Frodo, and he lay back in Sam's gentle arms, closing his eyes, like a child at rest when night fears are driven away by some loved voice or hand. Gay!
Quite. But also, if straight men want to read it as a hetero relationship that they're allowed to have with their male friends.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Yes, they should read it that way.
Yes.
Sam felt that he could sit like that in endless happiness, but it was not allowed. It was not enough for him to find his master. He had still to try and save him. He kissed Frodo's forehead. "Come, wake up, Mr. Frodo," he said, trying to sound as cheerful as he had when he threw back the curtains at Bag End on a summer's morning. Frodo sighed and sat up. "Where are we? How did I get here?" he asked. "There's no time for tales till we get somewhere else, Mr. Frodo," said Sam. "But you're in the top of that tower you and me saw from away down by the tunnel before the orcs got you. How long ago that was, I don't know. More than a day, I guess." "Only that," said Frodo. "Seems weeks. You must tell me all about it if we get a chance. Something hit me, didn't it? And I fell into darkness and foul dreams and woke. Found that waking was worse. The orcs were all round me. I think they had just been pouring some horrible burning drink down my throat." My brain always sees that as peach
Whiskey?
tea.
Oh.
Sorry, what did you say?
Whiskey?
No. Yeah, no, because remember they talk about that in the appendices that the orc draft was like super concentrated, very
yeah.
sweet, like peach iced tea.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that.
My head grew clear, but I was aching and weary. They stripped me of everything, and then two great brutes came and questioned me until I thought I should go mad, standing over me, gloating, fingering their knives. I'll never forget their claws and eyes. "You won't if you talk about them, Mr. Frodo," said Sam. "Repression!" Are you there? Did I freeze? Oh dear. Not a great time to freeze. It's probably me. Let's see if we can return. We need like a holding signal. Whatever, I'll just keep reading. You won't if you talk about them, Mr. Frodo, said Sam. And if you don't want to see them again, the sooner we get going, the better. Can you walk? Yes, I can walk, said Frodo, getting up slowly. "I'm not hurt, Sam. Only I feel very tired, and I have a pain here." He put his hand to the back of his neck above his left shoulder. He stood up, and it looked to Sam as if he was clothed in flame. His naked skin was scarlet in the light of the lamp above. Twice he paced across the floor. That's better, he said, his spirits rising a little. I didn't dare to move when I was left alone and one of the guards came, until the yelling and the fighting began. The two big brutes, they quarreled, I think, over me and my things. I lay here terrified. Then all went deadly quiet, and that was worse. Yes, they quarreled seemingly, said Sam. There must have been couple of hundred of the dirty creatures in this place. A bit of a tall order for Sam Gamgee, as you might say. But they've done all the killing of themselves. That's lucky. But it's too long to make a song about till we're out of here. Now what's to be done? You can't go walking in the Black Land and not but your skin, Mr. Frodo.
Are we good?
Now I can.
Oh. That didn't,
We have a little bit of lag.
You were. Might take a minute. Well, I mean, that's fine because that's just me, right?
What's just you?
I
I don't know.
The lag.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's just you.
Because you could easily be fucking with me.
No, I'm not, I swear.
All right, well, let's at least get to the point where Frodo's not naked.
Okay. All right. Well, I've gotten to the you can't go walking in the Black Land and not but your skin, Mr. Frodo. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
They've taken everything, Sam, said Frodo. Everything I had. Do you understand? Everything. He cowered on the floor again with bowed head as his own words brought home to him the fullness of the disaster, and despair overwhelmed him. The quest has failed, Sam. Even if we get out of here, we can't escape. Only elves can escape. Away, away out of Middle-earth, far away over the sea. And even that is wide enough to keep the shadow out. If even that is wide enough to keep the shadow out. No, not everything, Mr. Frodo. And it hasn't failed, not yet. I took it, Mr. Frodo, begging your pardon, and I've kept it safe. It's round my neck now, and a terrible burden it is, too. Sam fumbled for the ring and its chain. I suppose you must take it back. Now it had come to it, Sam felt reluctant to give up the ring and burden his master with it again. You've got it? Gasped Frodo. You've got it here? Sam, you're a marvel. Then quickly and strangely his tone changed. Give it to me, he cried, standing up, holding out a trembling hand. Give it me at once. You can't have it. All right, Mr. Frodo, said Sam, rather startled. Here it is. Slowly he drew the ring out and passed the chain over his head. But you're in the land of Mordor now, sir. When you get out, you'll see the fiery mountain and all. You'll find the ring very dangerous now, and very hard to bear. If it's too hard a job, I could share it with you, maybe. No, no, cried Frodo, snatching the ring and chain from Sam's hands. No, you won't, you thief! He panted, staring at Sam with eyes wide with fear and enmity. Then suddenly, clasping the ring in one clenched fist, he stood aghast. A mist seemed to clear from his eyes, and he passed a hand over his aching brow. The hideous vision had seemed so real to him, half amused as he still was with wound and fear. Sam had changed before his very eyes into an orc again, leering and pawing at his treasure, a foul little creature with greedy eyes and slobbering mouth. But now the vision had passed. There was Sam kneeling before him, his face wrung with pain, as if he had been stabbed in the heart. Tears welled from his eyes. Yeah. And thankfully Frodo goes on to immediately apologize because goddamn, dude.
Right?
Oh, Sam, cried Frodo. What have I said? What have I done? Forgive me. After all you've done. It is the horrible power of the ring. I wish it had never, never been found. Don't mind me, Sam. I must carry the burden to the end. It can't be altered. You can't come between me and this doom. Sorry, I just had a white...
You have a dirty
What?
mind.
No, I had a white Christmas thought. Sister, sister, don't come between me and my doom. Doom, 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 doom. That's all right, Mr. Frodo, said Sam, rubbing his sleeve across his eyes. I understand. But I can still help, can't I? Got to get you out of here. At once, see? But first you want some clothes and gear, and then some food. Clothes will be the easiest part. As we're in Mordor, we'd best dress up Mordor fashion. And anyway, there isn't no choice. It'll have to be orc stuff for you, Mr. Frodo, I'm afraid. And for me, too. If we go together, we'd best match. Now, put this round you. Sam unclasped his grey cloak and cast it about Frodo's shoulders. Then, unslinging his pack, he laid it on the floor. He drew Sting from its sheath. Hardly a flicker was to be seen upon its plate. I was forgetting this, Mr. Frodo, he said. No, they didn't get everything. You lent me Sting, if you remember, and the lady's glass. I've got them both still. But lend them to me a little longer, Mr. Frodo. I must go and see what I can find. You stay here, walk about a bit, and ease your legs. I shan't be long. I shan't have to go far. Take care, Sam, said Frodo, and be quick. There may be orcs still alive, lurking in wait. Got to chance it, said Sam. He stepped to the trapdoor and slipped down the ladder. In a minute his head reappeared. He threw a long knife on the floor. There's something that might be useful, he said. He's dead, the one that whipped you. Broke his neck, it seems, in his hurry. Now you draw up the ladder if you can, Mr. Frodo. Don't you let it down till you hear me call the password. Elbereth I'll call. What the elves say. No orc would say that. All right. Frodo's got a cloak on. He's not naked.
Yay!
And we're at the end of a section.
We are trying to do a horse face. I'm trying to make it about the same size as all the other animal faces.
I think it's
big.
Yeah, I think it's getting close, but it's looking a little bit of a moose face right now.
Yeah, too much snoot.
Yes. I was going to say schnoz, but yes, exactly.
Did I run it past y'all when I decided Korft was a horse?
No, probably not.
Korft
Wasn't
has
he
had
a bat
lot
before?
He was a bat, he was a crow, he's been a lot of things, but now he's a horse.
Okay.
The horse that carries the souls of the dead. The horse with no upper limit to its carrying capacity.
A horse with no name. No, wait, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing. His name is Korft. But you could go through the desert on him, especially if you started out in the desert and were not prepared for that. Now he looks like a lizard.
Yeah, you're getting there, but I think now he's got too much cheek in relationship to the snoot.
True. We need to pare it all down at once.
Yeah. On that note, I am gonna go.
Ears are going to be a help.
Ears will help. Yes, that is true.
And there's his little body, but his face is still too big for his little body.
Yeah, his face is way too big. Yeah, that needs a bit of adjusting.
Maybe if I just put it on the body and then worked from there, I would be able to get the proportions right.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
not right
Well,
now. Right now, well, I guess I'll see you next year, won't I?
yes, indeed. See you next year. I'll be a year older,
You
and
will.
probably none of us will be any wiser. Oh, God. I'm getting a sort of Komodo dragon vibe now.
This is why we need not fear the Reaper.
I mean, I don't remember Blue Oyster Cult mentioning that, but
Yeah,
they were right.
It was the 5th verse. And then the
All
horse
right.
showed up and it was really goofy. Oh, yeah. I will talk to you on your birthday. But until then, let me know how you want to join the Walk to Mordor thing, and we'll make it happen.
Sounds good, and that's getting much closer.
Right? Just a little bit
We're
more.
we're in
dog
Chesky's
trimming.
territory now.
Right? That's a huge improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the whole point of these figurines was they were supposed to look like they were carved out of some difficult material a long time ago by people who maybe didn't have the means to make details.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're supposed to be. Oh, I didn't show you this because I didn't figure out a way to mold it.
Ooh, neat.
Isn't she beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you've got things to do, and I love you.
I love you too. I will talk to you later.
Indeed you shall. Cuidado.
Liamas.
Mwah.